All right, everyone. I think we are up and running. Yes, as we are. Cool. Thank you so much for being here. And I need to get this camera a little better. A little bit up. So we have a better view of the guitar. Yes. All right. Thank you for being here on this very gloomy Saturday morning over here in Colorado. Where they have some folks coming in. Jorge, good morning. Good morning, Georgie. Thank you so much for being here today, this morning. Today we're gonna look into a really cool song that I really, really love. The great standard, Days of Wine and Roses. Hi, here you go, Mark. Good morning, my friend. People are coming in. Let's get down to it. Hello, Bala. I don't know if it's afternoon or evening in India. Oh, raining cats and dogs. Okay, got some rain. Yeah, it's a gloomy morning over here, but pretty nonetheless. Well, here we are. Let me retune this guitar and then we're gonna get started. I assume the sound is good. You can hear me. The guitar as well. All right, 9:35 p.m. in India. Getting late over there, huh, brother? Let's get down into it. So, Days of Wine and Roses. I guess most of you know this standard. It's a really good one. I guess the ones that I mostly play in gigs and things like that. It's a really cool one. Let's take a look at that. Here's Days of Wine and Roses. It is something like this. Pretty straightforward. That's the classic Days of Wine and Roses. How can we make this thing dance? Oh, it will dance, you will see. Let's go back to the screen here. Catatal, bem-vindo. Bom dia aí, boa tarde. He's a great friend of mine. He designed that logo over here, both of them. Cool. Lots of stuff to do there. The melody is again presented in a very basic way on these real book charts, and that gives us a lot of room to do, a lot. And since we are going to Sambafy, get this into the groove and make it dance, you already know the deal that I talk about. You know the principles. Adding syncopations, adding the 16, 8, 16 figures there. And I would start, as usually I advise people to start, with the layers, the top layer and the bottom layer, playing, this. The melody gets super kind of jumpy with the syncopations instead of they will become right? You get that jump in the melody by applying the Brazilian syncopation figure as a whole, 16, 8, 16. And then we get that tie, ta 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 ta. When you tie them, they become ti 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 ta ti ta ti ba 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 ba. They're all over the place, jumping around. Nothing stays on the downbeat. Everything gets upbeat, right? I personally play this song a slight different melody, like inflection. I shall do. First of all, I do a half diminished here instead of just the D7, so I get like a 2-5 to G minor. So I get a little bit of more movement there, and then the tune tells it to go to A minor. I sometimes go to F major, back to the roots. Cool. And then I usually wait a little bit instead of. There's a C7 there in the chart, right? Just double check. Yeah, on the fourth system. No, not there. The third system. I don't play that chord. I stay on G minor. And then the 2-5 there. Sometimes I go a little chromatic. Not chromatic, but like a whole step down. Play F minor there. You know, just a different color. Then I F major again, do it. Alright, sometimes I do, instead of a half diminished, here, I do just straight up minor 9, 11, whatever. Just because it sounds good to me. Those are the few things that I do differently than the original. But as far as the rhythm, you already know the framework to make this thing work. If you put everything together, I would play something like this. And we're gonna talk about today about the key. Again, this is the original key, F major, but I'm gonna play in different keys so we can kind of get that taste of the guitarness, you know. I'm gonna play an arrangement in F major and in D major. So cool, and I got a little bit of a track so I can solo again, as you know, some people ask for it. So I keep doing that. So we're gonna do a little samba groove, but not super fast, just super groovy and nice, you know. Something like that. Again, the samba groove, 1 and 2 and. Put that in, so that will sound like this. One, So that's the first part. Here again we have the situation when we want to have the whole thing upbeat and syncopated. Again, it gets easier to play like that. The second sort of part of the structure that I teach is the melody has to be active enough. Whenever it is, it's easier. It just, the melody just becomes a groove. And when it's not, on this case in the beginning, you have this long note, you bring the groove. So I'm bringing the groove right over here. And notice that I am anticipating the melody. 1, 2, instead of 1 and 2, ba, da, right? I'm doing 1 and 2, di, da, right? This is the 1, the bass, 1, 2, 3, That's part of the dance, right? The syncopation, straight on. So melody, then groove. 1, It's all groove. And here pick up the melody again. The melody will make the movement of the groove. So at that moment here, I wasn't playing a groove. I was playing the melody. The melody carries the groove. One more time as I keep saying, right? Here, that's why I do the half diminished chord here, because I can do resolve here. I can also do, instead of that half diminished kind of 11 thing, I can do straight up 11. Here's a cool voicing, right? Just 2 fingers, minor third, 11, 9 and 7 here. So, and then I finalize with the half diminish as intended. So 1 and 2, do. One more time, the melody is long. One more time, I am bringing the groove. Groove all the way in that G minor. Here, melody is taking care of the rhythm. Then groove again on the melody is long. So again, as I say, every meeting, right? Every live stream, that's the system. Melody is active, as I call, a lot happening. That carries a groove. Make sure you apply that syncopation to get everything kind of jumpy and syncopated. When the melody is resting or long, play the groove. It's just as simple as that. No, it's not really complicated thing. It's a very simple procedure that you do to make this thing dance. That moment, again, the melody is totally doing the job for me. And I'm not doing groove, I'm not playing groove, I'm playing the melody, is just doing everything for me. And the middle layer, as I call, it does support the melody whenever I want. I can play chords along with little pieces of the melody. 1 and 2. In this whole part here, I'm playing the chords a little bit, sprinkling some notes of the chords. You see, that's all I did. And then the rest is just the bass being fundamental, being on 1 and 2. So that's it. All right. Again, melody does the job for me. Melody takes care of it. And then here, the melody is long. Again, we bring the groove. Groove. Groove, melody. Groove, melody. Groove. Groove. Syncopation. Right? That part here, how do we play that? We have to play the E there. There's several options to do that. Sometimes you can do A, B, half diminished. You can go all the way up there, right? I happen to have the 7th string, so I can just kind of play that, right? Or you can just play that, or like the same as this shape. That in B, kind of a high over here, but you can do it. Little high register, but still possible. One thing that I do sometimes, actually play a harmonic there and come over here, come down, back down to play a fatter, beefier chord. So you see, I just let that E kind of take its course, and then I come back here. It's quite cool. I like to do that a lot. So I can go here, finish the E here, or because I have to go back here, so maybe playing that E here is probably a good idea, right? And then here is easy, so you can go many ways. You can use the diminish kind of symmetry gain here to pick up that note here, and then it's a E7 flat 9 available here. Then A minor 7, or here I probably use this one because it's easy to carry along because we're going back to the low register. Here if you want, or then I'm home, right? Then you can do the F as my, whatever way you want, here, here, or here, like a major 6 kind of thing, or a lot of people do, I particularly do, the classic flat 2, G flat major 7 there, to have that as a major 7 in the melody. That's also a cool way to send off, and then carry on. So you can do that. Another option here to do, instead of the diminish, you can do an altered version. That kind of game, that can be done here. It's a piano voicing, right, with 2 hands. That is only possible in E on the guitar, which is right where we are. So E7, sharp 9, and a C major triad there. That's sharp 9, flat 13, root. And then you can do and do that as a passing tone, or another triad that you can get with these alto chords. Ooh. It's a cool one. That's nice. Or resolve the diminish if you want. So many different options there, so many options available, as long as you make a groove. So, sorry, can do that. That's a tougher one, because you don't have a lot of time, and then you gotta come here, or maybe it's a good solution. Maybe, or just a note, passing tone, totally fine. You can do that too, and then setting up the ending, right? Let's look into that ending, because I don't remember if there's a dominant chord there. Yeah, it's minor, as I suspected. A minor, last system there's A minor, ta-da, D minor. Okay, cool. So if that's what it is, great for us. That's a pretty obvious movement, and then on this C7 you can do so much here. You can do the sus, resolve the sus here, or you can do a little more, you know, intricate dominant thing. You can go, ooh, how about that? Or flat 9. You can do that too if you want. That's the G flat major there on this voicing. Cool. So we kind of got the main idea of the harmony, melody, how everything kind of fits together. Again, the secret is to apply the syncopations correctly, you know. So questions thus far? Let them come. Questions, that's the time for some questions. Marco, olá Marco, tudo bem? Beautiful groove, beautiful melody. Thank you, obrigado, cara. Obrigado por você estar aqui. Hello, Mr. Gabriel, greetings from the Far East. Well, thank you so much. Hello from this side of the earth. Great to hear from the Far East. Thanks for being here. Okay, questions. Pablo, hey my friend, thank you, good to see you. Leave your questions here, because that's the time for some questions in the harmony or the groove, whatever you want to hear. Let's talk about it before I kind of play kind of a solo version of. Harmonically, there's so much you can do that, but I am focusing really on the groove, you know, just make it sound good, you know. So anytime you apply those syncopations, you're set. Anytime the song fits or accepts or embraces these syncopations, this I call total syncopations, when you have a sequence of this 16 figures, ta 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 ta, and when they're connected, you know, half and half, like half of the bar in the middle are connected, and leading to the next bar connected, and you have this sort of chain of figures that I call total syncopation. So you get this, you know, against the beat. So when you get that, it's so easy to play, so easy, I'm telling you, you know. See how easy? You know. It makes so easy to groove, because the melodies carry enough information to secure the groove. So you don't have to do much, you just have to be consistent with the bass, you know. That's it, see? Playing both layers, right? Top and bottom layer. It's really, really simple. And the middle, fill in the gaps, if you will, you know. So that's the idea. Seems like I have a question here. Sometimes the chord, the minor flat 5, okay? We can move to 1 half step, like diminish. How to arrange with your fingers, little finger. I don't quite understand what your question is. Can you rephrase that, Jorge? Moving the half diminish to 1.5, like diminish. I don't understand what the question is. Can you rephrase that for me? And I'll cover it. But there was a bunch of half diminished chords here that you can, and they become diminished here, you know, in your dominant chords, dominant flat 9s. Whenever you have a dominant chord flat 9, within the structure of that chord, there is a diminish chord in there. That's why you can like drag that around as a diminish using the diminishes symmetry that is available for you. So if you have D7 flat 9, right, you have that available. You have an F sharp diminish inside that chord. And if you have a diminished chord, then you have a diminished movement going on. That's why I was using this, because this comes from this. Right? Same thing at the end. This is a E7 flat 9, diminished chord, appoggiatura, resolved. Then I go on. So I can use diminished chords to move around the dominant chords a lot. Bala has a question. Would it be better to practice with top and bottom together first, like we usually do, correct? And then fill in the middle of it. Correct, Bala, correct. Absolutely. Especially if it's a tune that you are just getting into. If it's a new tune, in any tune basically, because if you don't have an arrangement already in this kind of style, it's going to be new. So you need to get comfortable with the movements and everything else that happens. You have to negotiate the top and the bottom, you know. So first step, exactly. First, well, before you play with the layers, you have to like understand how the melody is going to be unfolded with this new thing. 1 and 2. Right? See all the syncopations? We have to plan that and play that and see, okay, I got the melody. Now you add the layers, meaning the bottom layer. You do that, then you put the middle layer in. On this case, right at the beginning, the melody is resting, so you're gonna put a little bit of the groove there, right? Right? And here, you already got the melody going on. When you land the chord, you gotta keep the melody going. Here, for instance, we're gonna do the whole melody syncopation. So as far as chords in the middle, I am just putting some of this, just sprinkling some of these chord notes there, you know, here and there, not the whole time. Here, right? This is when the chords are coming in, right? 1 and so boom, just some pretty foundational points in which the chords would be good to be, right? Supporting the melody. So that's pretty much it. And then when the melody is resting, you bring the groove, right? Groove. That's it. That's the process. It works every time. 6-string versus 7-string compensation to be made as usual. Yes. There are a lot of possibilities to play here on a 6-string. I'm not super using that 7 a lot here. Trying to keep it 6 as much as I can. So all this is 6, all 6. The only thing I use here on 7 was I just use this, or but it's fine if you just use this if you want. It works fine. You know, if I am comping later, then I'll go. Then I can do all that. But what I show here thus far is pretty 6-string standard. It says I will tend to cheat because I already do this in solo guitar version. I have to learn. Yes, well, it's gonna be a little adaptation going on, like adapting to from like a chord melody perspective versus, you know, because you do in chord melody you kind of have to do that, right? The concept of the so-called chord melody is that the melody has to be supported by a chord most of the time, which is completely different from what we're doing. And you already know that, right? That's a different approach. We're seeing things not in one block and instead in 3 independent things going on, that they're actually working together in an amalgamation and making that groove, because we are really dependent on having that groove going on. So let's see. Okay, Jorge, example, D minor flat 5, F minor flat 5, A flat minor flat 5, B minor flat 5. This chord don't be symmetrical, but in practice we can move like a whole diminish. Okay, I think you understand what you mean, Jorge. I think we gotta make a distinction on a triad and a 7th chord. So if you look at, you know, this case, E, right? This E, if I think that as a triad, right? You know, E, G, B flat, that's a diminished triad. If that's a diminished triad, yes, it is symmetrical, so therefore can be moved. But if you're thinking of 7th chords, that's you need another pair of minor thirds, right? To get that. Then you have that kind of cool rotation that you can do here on this chord. To do the sort of triad rotation, you have to do different voices. You have to voice like a triad. For instance, here I can do that. But if you're comparing a minor chord, a diminished 7th chord to a half diminished, the difference is the 7th, right? One is a minor 7, one is a diminished 7. That symmetry, that kind of move, rotation, I can only get with the diminished, the fully diminished. It doesn't work with the half diminished because it doesn't become the same chord after a while, right? It's not symmetrical as the other one is. So you need the 7th of the chords to make that work. So here, and the thing I was talking about is on a dominant chord, this thing is a dominant chord. Right? E7. If I add another third, I'll have a 9th, you know? That's gonna be an E7 flat 9. If you look at this chord, you know, right? If I look at E7 flat 9, this chord in its structure has a diminished chord inside. If you don't consider the root and start looking at the chord from its third, you do have the diminished chord in there. That's why when you have a diminished a dominant 7th flat 9, you can use a symmetrical diminished gain, because this triad, or the 7th chord is already in its structure, so therefore you can harmonize diminish, you know. You can walk around diminish because the diminished chord is there, so therefore you can bring that diminished gain in here. Cool. So I hope I answered that question. Cool. So let me play a little bit of that song in this key of F major, just kind of solo a little bit. I did a little play along for myself, just playing the chords, a couple choruses of playing this. So let's see if I can get something useful here. And if you have a question, you know, while I'm playing, leave the question here. And then, you know, hopefully I'll be able to help. So I need to turn off a few things here on my setup to be able to play along with this thing. So bear with me for a second. Okay. Let me see. Yes. Okay. I think this is gonna work. So let me try in this key, F major. I'm gonna solo like a couple choruses. All right, so that was a cool one. This was in F major. That's what I play. Bear with me for a second so I can get my setup back. Okay, cool. So I can get both microphones. Yeah, that song is really fun to solo and to play. Okay, different keys. That key, you know, works. You can make a cool kind of groovy version. Is that something else that we can do as far as key that get us a little bit of a, you know, a little bit more spice into this thing? Key change. So Bala is already anticipating. Yes, key change to D major. Yes, I'm gonna try in D major. Thank you, Reggie. My friend Reg is also here. Both members of the BGI, by the way. And Mark is also here. So different keys. To do a solo arrangement, you can try different keys and see if it works. I was messing around this morning with D major, and it's great. I like it. So D major would be something like. cool. It's got some E minors in there, some open stuff. So, you know, I like it. It's always good to have that kind of thing. When you have open strings, it's always an excuse to use some cool voicings, open strings, and things like that. Yeah, you can totally do in D major. I was doing it early on, and you can. Then you got. I guess the higher one would be this one, right? Using the flat 2 here, so instead of D major, I go E flat major. That's cool. Thank you, Avi. Thank you. Thank you, Bala. Glad you like it. Atelier, wish the chords went by a bit slower so that we can see the chords fingerings. Let's do that. Atelier, let's do that right now. Peter, here we go. Here he is. My friend Peter from Portland, another member of the BGI in the house, which I'm gonna talk about in a little bit. Let's go Atelier. I'm gonna play that slow again so we can kind of check out. Let's see. The tempo was slow enough. Oh, Body and Soul, the tempo was slow enough to learn the chords. Yes, it's a, you know, it's a small, like a slow ballad. This one I'm playing a little bit up, but let me do that slowly. In D major, right? The key I was doing. So, C9 sharp 11. That's F sharp minor 7 or half diminished if one. B7 sharp 5. E minor. E minor, you know, 9, 7, whatever you want to do. G minor, right? But the just by the way the melody, that would be G minor major 7, right? Then I resolve into the C7. Then I go back to the root, you know, the tonic, D major. 6th chord, B minor. Here's a cool voicing. That's an E minor, 9, 11, and I did this. It's a Pat Metheny thing. Stole from him. If you like E minor, it's like this 5th kind of thing. Just movement within the E minor things. Now, E minor, C sharp minor, F sharp 7, D minor. Ooh, one you can use here. E7, sharp 5 or flat 13, flat 9. E minor, A7 to get back to D major, back to C7, F sharp minor, B7, E minor, G minor, major 7, C7, and then here's the sort of the ending, D major, B minor, G sharp minor, right? It's kind of a high, but that's it. G minor 7, G sharp minus 11 or everything. Here you can do C sharp 7 or resolve in the G7 sharp 9, or whatever you want to do here. Or this one is a little short, right? Tight. then the turnaround. F sharp minor, B minor, E minor, A7, and then the last chord, instead of D major, I'm doing E flat major 9 to get that tonic, the root of the chord to be in D, to be a major 7 and E flat. So right, I can do that. And on that note, I can end that note in different chords too, not only the flat too. You know, it's like whatever your taste is. I can go. That's the one I was doing, E flat major 7, right? But I can do, you know, once you start that game, you know, that I talk about a lot, like the relative minor, I can do that. If this chord exists, I can do C minor too. So I can end in C minor. I can go, which is cool. Kind of a takes from another place, right? And if I can do a minor 9, 7, whatever, 11, I can have the sus version. F13 sus. Nice. If I have that, I can also have, I can have the G flat one going on. Where's my, that's an interesting one. I can also do C sus to have that D here, so I can go. To D. It's kind of a backdoor cadence, right? The flat 7 sus. So you see how many possibilities I have there. Or I can have all of them combined. I can put all of them there if I want, I guess. Extend the end a little bit, so lots of possibilities there. Romulo, incredible content, hope to see you one day. Incompatibilidade Genius. Greetings from Peru, wow. I haven't been to Peru, but it's been on my list to be there. Thank you so much for being here, Romulo. I appreciate it, man. That will take this song to a new dimension. It does, right? The relative minor. It does. Anto asks, hi, off topic. What make or mic is that you use on the guitar? That mic is a Slate Digital. It's one of those mics they have called something M1 or something like that. That's kind of their main mic model. It's a Slate Digital. That mic gives you the ability to have a plugin. I think it's called Virtual Mic System or something like that. It has a lot of like modelings from different mics, you know, all kinds of Neumanns and Sonys you can like put into that, and then, you know, record and then kind of try different sounds. It's a cool toy. I use it. I don't use any imaging of anything on that one. I just use whatever the capsule is, and you know, works good for me. But here it is, Slate Digital. Cool. So let me play now a little bit of a solo in D major, because I did make another track now in D major. Seems to be a fun key to solo on. Let me do that. I need to change a few things in my setup here. Bear with me for a second. Okay, so let's see if everything is working. Yes. All right, let's try a couple chords in D major. Something like this. All right, let me go back one more time to the setup here. All right, got it back. I haven't found a way yet to do all this and not having to mess around with this. Salute from Sicily, grazie Tano Fotti. It has been one of my dreams to go to Sicily. I hope I fulfill that dream soon, going to Sicily. I'd love to go there. You're very welcome, Mental. Hope it's a good mic, you know, it does the job. And you can get, you know, some cool sounds. And sometimes I do recordings and stuff. I do like a steel string guitar. Sometimes I mess with some different microphones. They work better for different things. But the regular one works good for this. Russell, are there any 7-string classical books anywhere? Well, I don't know one 7-string book from a musician from Rio, Brazil, Luiz Otávio Braga. He was my teacher, not a guitar teacher, but he's a famous 7-string guitar player from Brazil. He has a method, a 7-string guitar method, but is definitely guided towards you know, Brazilian choro. Like, that's the language that he's really good at, and that's what he wrote about. But I don't know anything specifically about 7 strings, but I do know his method that is for 7 string. You do have an acoustic 7 string. Yeah, it's not that easy to find charts, but if you go into that territory, you know, samba, choro, some Brazilian stuff, you definitely have a lot of stuff for 7 string. Check it out, because there's a lot out there for that style. You're in Oregon. That's great. Thanks for being here, Russell. Thanks for stopping by. Someone just lit a campfire, like, for real. I can smell it. This music is perfect. Nice. That's a nice soundtrack for it, right? Now I need a classic drink in my hand. I'm set. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm set in the mood. Nice. So everyone, all the stuff that I'm teaching here, you know, showing all this, making this into samba, into all kinds of stuff. I do have an online program. It's called the Brazilian Guitar Institute. You can learn all the stuff with me. I teach all that. It's a 1-year mentorship program, and we have members here in this live stream. And if you really want to get down into this and learn all this, you gotta book a call with me at Brazilian Guitar Talk. We have a wonderful program. We have a nice platform. I do finally have some time this coming week for calls. I have a lot of time this week, so if you click here and go to the calendar, you see like way more times now. I have more time after I got done with the universities for the summer, so I have time to get into Zoom and a little chat and get to hear you play and see if you're a good fit for the program. You know, I'd love to show a little bit inside that program. Let's see if I can get this going. So this is the community that we have. You know, here we have students, like, they post videos and things like that. They have a wonderful community that you can put your work there. I give you feedback. You can also chat with me privately if you want to just show me stuff. And we have the coursework which is substantial. This is the actual Brazilian certificate, the basic stuff with a bunch of grooves, bossa nova, samba, baião, and all that. We have so much stuff going on with this. And these lives, they go here and they get summarized, in a different way. One thing that we have is a third part of the program is the meetings that we have every week. And the meetings are really cool, really been fun to be on them. The students ask anything they want. It's kind of an open floor when everybody kind of ask whatever they want. And they also get summarized and they get posted on the community. This is what you're seeing over here, some of these meetings. Let's see if I can get some of them here to show you. Here's some of the meetings. Here, this is a meeting for some time, so you get all summarized. And if there's like videos and things like that, I posted here. I post a summary over here. See if the internet's gonna help me out today. The internet's being a little funky today. A big part of this program is also the world's first Brazilian guitar GPT, powered by ChatGPT, and the students are having some fun with it. This is what it looks like. You can come in and you can ask anything you want regarding Brazilian guitar, because I trained this thing into my teachings, and basically the idea is to this thing be able to answer any questions related to our program. I can ask anything like, let me just talk about this one, right? Can you come up with an arrangement for Days of Wine and Roses using the Sambafying System. Forgive me my typing here, because I have so many wires and stuff around me here. Let's see what this thing does. Step-by-step outline on how to Sambafy Days of Wine and Roses. Use Gabriel Santiago's Sambafy System. Yeah, it was being trained by me. The 3-layer system, Brazilian Syncopation. Yes. Time signature 2/4. Correct. Slow 2. Correct. Core rhythm motif, Brazilian Syncopation. Didn't I just talk about this in the beginning? The 16/8/16. It's telling you to do that. Establish the melody, syncopated bassline, flexible middle layer, harmony and rhythm. There we go. And then it's telling you what to do. Original phrases. Beat 1, it's just telling you what to do. Bass, middle, harmonic suggestions, groove interact. Isn't that cool? And it's telling you a breakdown for week 1, week 2, week 3. Okay, want me to write out a full solo guitar transcription with tabs? I would just say yes, tabs, please. And let's see if this thing, what it spills. I don't know. I have no idea. It is thinking there, so something's gonna come out from it. But you can see that I train this thing constantly, so it gets better and better and better at understanding the system that I teach, basically. It's really, really cool. And it is getting constantly trained also, and slowly training to the program, so it knows the meetings, what we talk about, the concepts. So not only will be able to come up with information of what you want to ask, but also point to certain meetings and what I actually talked about. Isn't that amazing? That's the very first time ever that this thing is spilling up a actually chart. Holy crap, what is that? I haven't even seen that yet. It's the first time it's like showing actually notation. Remember, guys, from the BGI, the members here, that it wasn't doing images yet. There we go. It now does imaging. Isn't that interesting? Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I gotta take some time to read this. It is creating some stuff there. How cool is this? images now for the first time live on YouTube. Here's the Brazilian GPT. It is pretty impressive, isn't it? It gave you exercises, suggestions, it broke down everything, and it knows my method, so it knows exactly what to do based on my stuff, right? It talks about the 2/4, the slow 2, the Brazilian syncopation figure, the melody, what you have to do with the melody, original phrase and bass and all that, and now it just spilled like a little tab exercise so you can practice. It speaks for itself. So we have this available at our Brazilian Guitar Institute. So if that doesn't convince you to book a call, I don't know what else we do. So this is the Brazilian Guitar Institute. It's an awesome program. I highly recommend you book a call with me if you want to get in. BrazilianGuitarTalk.com. You get a book a call, a Zoom meeting with me, and then we're gonna get to talk and get to hear you play, see if you're a good fit, and hopefully get you in. This time, this coming week, I have plenty of time to get a lot of meetings, so I offloaded some of my teaching, university teachings now. We're kind of heading to the summer, so I have time. So make sure to book your call here, Brazilian Guitar Talk, and let's get to some more questions here. Yes, Bala, isn't that cool? Bala is our member, and he hasn't seen that doing like charts. That's awesome. Reggie as well. What's up, Reggie? See how this thing is now? It's like impressive. What can I say? Thank you, everybody. Do you tune? Okay, Ryan is asking if I tune the 7th string to B or A. Brian, I tune in B. Just because I get access to, I got a lot of the 4th kind of relationship. You know, that's why I tune in B. If you're a more traditional Brazilian guy, they tune in C, just because of the nature of the music they play. Jazz cats like to tune in A, like those arch top guitars, because they have like this, they have that bass here, you know, that chord would be here if you're in tuning A. So I like to turn it in B. Thanks for being here. All right. Well, it's time for me to play some music, and song and then la 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 la. Thank you so much for being here. Well, again, one more time, you've seen what this thing can do. The Brazilian Guitar Institute. Get on, book a call, BrazilianGuitarTalk.com. You have access to all this stuff. Let's meet this week and get you in, because it's cooking out there. It's great. One more time, let me play Days of Running Roses in a more kind of solo guitar version, using all the stuff that GPT was telling me to do. I'll see if I can go from different keys. Good challenge. Let's see. All right, there was the Days of Wine and Roses. I did try to go through a few keys, so I did F and then I went to D major. So I hope you liked it. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Bala. Thank you, Reggie. Bala, make a point there. We're gonna talk about this arrangement on the meeting on Thursday, whatever you wanna ask. One more time, if you like this stuff, book a call with me, Brazilian Guitar Talk. You've seen all the stuff. You've seen the BGI inside. You've seen the GPT. That was a cool one, wasn't it? So book a call here. I'm waiting for you. I have a lot of time this week to meet and Zoom and get you in the program. So I'll see you guys soon next week, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.